my house was like a halfway house.
Okay.
It was like we had drug dealers, car thieves, we had guns, we had drugs, we had car parts, we had whatever you wanted, you come and see us. So that house there, which a lot of people in Mount Druitt, probably the older people would know, that used to live in them days in the 80s, still know me. They even talk about it until today. It's like that house was a halfway house, and that was one house that was just crazy. It was like...
And everyone knew what it was.
And everyone knew what it was. And
even the police knew that?
Even the police knew, man. I've got as we're speaking now, there's actually a copper that... he's no longer a copper now. He actually bumped into me at a show not long ago. And he come up to one of the girls. He goes, "Is that George Farah?" And he says, "Yeah, it is." And he said, "Can I speak to him?" He goes, "Oh, well, I'll get him over here." So I went over to him. He's all tatted up. And I thought this guy was a bikie.
Copper,
yeah, I thought it was a bikie that wanted to start some shit. You know, I thought, what's the problem, you know? He goes, "You gave me grief in the 80s. I killed his life in the 80s because they wanted me so bad from the 80s till 2000. That's when I went to jail in 2000. So I had a massive run, but that 2000...
What's that, 20 years, 30 years?
Yeah, 30 years of...
So when was the last day, the 2000s?
2000.
Wow,
So I was
30 years straight, huh?
30 years straight of running whatever the fuck you want to run.
And so if you don't mind me asking, how old are you now?
I'm 51.
Far out. So you're around in your 20s.
Yeah,
early 20s.
Even younger, probably 18 at the time,
Far
17. And
Listen,
all the headaches.
If people don't understand, this guy's coming from a real place because he was on the top of this all. Like he was sergeant of arms in the gang that he was in. And like, so the testimony that he's giving today is real. So if you're a child at their youth and even the prior guests that I have and, you know, thinking that living that dark life is good, this is a gentleman that's from the places that you used to dream of, like the 80s. It was like the prime time for everything.
The 80s was just crazy.
So now, okay, you got done for manufacturing, what is it, methamphetamines?
Yeah, I got done for manufacturing amphetamines.
And so you got sentenced with 8 years, but you done 4, right?
Yeah, I got my first sentence was 8 years.
Yeah.
And then we pleaded, and it's called an appeal. We appealed the sentence, which you got to go through again on different grounds. And I copped 4 with a 3 years parole.
Okay, so now that hit you. Like, how did that hit you to know that you're going to prison?
Well, I knew I was going to prison, and I didn't know how much I was going to get, but it's like you learn to shut off. You learn to shut off. You have to. You got to shut off. Yeah, you got to learn to shut off. Hey, you got to shut off all your feelings. You got to shut off everything. You can't put your emotions, because that then it will drive you nuts. This is why so many guys end up
thinking about your girlfriend.
Well, yeah. I mean, you just can't think about anyone. You just can't think about your family. You just got to try and think that you're in here to survive. You're in here to do your time and get out. I'm very lucky to be alive, you know what I mean? I got scars to prove it, but that's something, you know, I think that I was very, very lucky, you know, and I thank God to be lucky. I've been stabbed probably 7 times. You know, I've been jumped, I've been bashed. So, you know, I've been bashed to the extent where, especially in prison, I was bashed in prison with spaghetti cans, where I had that much concussion, where I was vomiting, and I didn't even remember for a couple of seconds my own name.
Far out.
So
savage.
So it was just a savage bashing. But even the officer said to me in there, when he took me to the ward, he goes, "I'll tell you something." He goes, "I've been here for 25 years and I've never seen anyone survive a bashing like that ever." So I thank God that I'm alive. So now, I think that's when it hit my reality. I think that's when it really hit me to say, you know what, this ain't a life. And then when I got out of prison, I got stabbed. I got stabbed through the arteries of my legs. When you hit an artery, that's it. You're bleeding to death. You die. You're dead.
Yeah, for sure. That's the main artery there.
Well, that's the main artery that was hit here. And then I was slashed through here. And I lost a lot of blood, which I don't remember
prison?
nothing. No, this is when I got out.
Oh, fuck.
Okay. So it was twice coming to death. Okay. This is twice.
You've been on death's door.
Yeah. So I've, you know, and You know, people might think, this guy's just bragging. Well, at the end of the day, you just can think what you want.
What are you bragging about?
But what I'm saying to them, they might say that. But at the end of the day, I have died twice.
Yeah.
And that's what hit reality. And I said, no, I ain't going that road. So the young generation's got to learn before it's too late. Some might not learn. Some might be too late. And some will learn faster than others.
Yeah.
But that's when it hit me.
It's not worth it.
It hit my reality. Like I literally dying twice.
What was it like? Like, what was the
Man,
in that
you
situation?
go cold.
Yeah.
You try not to close your eyes because you think, well, you know, I'm gonna go, and you actually, when I was in the ambulance, I was like closing my eyes, and I'm thinking, no, I can't go to sleep. Went to sleep, went to hospital, got up the next day on surgery, and I said, when he's gonna stitch me up? They said, you're already done. I was 8 hours in surgery and I didn't even know.